You won't believe the wild twists and turns in these upcoming matchups, plus one fighter's bizarre hunt for hidden creatures. Stick around to hear about demonic dreams, shocking face-offs, and bold predictions that could shake up entire divisions. Leon Edwards, the reigning welterweight champion, is set to defend his belt against surging contender Shawn Brady in a highly anticipated showdown at UFC London. This official matchup has been on the calendar for a while, fueling excitement among fans intrigued by the clash of Edwards' well-rounded game against Brady's formidable grappling pedigree. Many are calling it a classic striker-versus-grappler scenario, reminiscent of some of the promotion's most iconic battles. Training clips of Edwards perfecting his sprawl and footwork suggest he's taking Brady's takedown threats very seriously. Meanwhile, Brady has reportedly sharpened his stand-up to surprise the champion and potentially wear him down over 5 rounds. Observers see razor-thin margins for error, given Edwards' championship experience and Brady's unbeaten momentum heading into this marquee fight. As the date draws closer, supporters anticipate an explosive contest that could reshape the welterweight landscape and set the tone for future title matchups. Bryce Mitchell surprised many by posting clips of himself venturing deep into old mines in search of lizard people. The footage showed him and his friends descending decrepit ladders and scouting eerie underground tunnels said to be hundreds of feet below the surface. At one point, Mitchell claimed to have discovered a pile of skeletons at the bottom, sparking speculation about what predatory creatures might lurk in that darkness. He humorously admitted they found no gold, and more importantly, no reptilian humanoids, but he seemed relentless in his mission. Some viewers questioned the safety of these excursions, but Mitchell insisted it was all in good fun and part of his adventurous spirit. The exploration videos quickly went viral among MMA fans, adding another layer to Mitchell's already colorful persona. Amid all the underground antics, curiosity grew about how these daring expeditions might affect his mindset going into future fights. Leading up to a scheduled fight at UFC 314, Bryce Mitchell shared that he's been experiencing recurring demonic nightmares. He claimed these visions began the day before a press conference face-off with Gene Silva, where Silva allegedly reacted aggressively upon hearing the name of Jesus. Mitchell detailed how he's under spiritual attack, describing nights filled with apparitions, provoking anger and lust, which he views as 2 of his major weaknesses. He called upon his fellow Christians to pray for him, seeking peaceful sleep and divine protection. Despite his fear, Mitchell professed unwavering faith that he would prevail against both spiritual and physical threats. He even likened himself to a modern-day David fighting a Goliath. John Silva, for his part, dismissed the demon talk as a sign of Mitchell's insecurities, insisting that hormones, not evil entities, explained the visions of attractive women. With their fight looming, tension grew over whose beliefs and skills would come out on top. Robert Whittaker has hinted at a possible shift to light heavyweight, but wants at least one more fight at 185 pounds first. In interviews, he expressed a desire to push the boundaries of muscle to weight ratio, indicating he aims to see how his body adapts before making a final decision. Names like Sean Strickland emerged as a potential opponent, aligning with Whittaker's strategy to remain active against highly ranked competitors. Fans grew excited at the prospect of a bout featuring Whittaker's polished striking and wrestling against Strickland's jab-heavy forward pressure style. Whittaker believes this matchup could happen during a big event weekend, possibly International Fight Week, if timing and negotiations align. He emphasized the importance of a strong performance at middleweight to justify any move up in division. Should he secure a win in spectacular fashion, the light heavyweight journey might begin sooner rather than later. In the meantime, Whittaker remains laser focused on his next middleweight challenge. A snippet of training footage showed Islam Makhachev applying a newly refined choke on a young practitioner who had come to Dagestan for extended tutelage. Known for his dominant grappling, Makhachev appeared to be taking a methodical approach, carefully demonstrating positioning and pressure. Observers noted the calm but powerful grip that has become a hallmark of Dagestani fighters, echoing the techniques popularized by Khabib Nurmagomedov. The region's reputation for developing elite wrestlers and submission specialists only grew as clips of Makhachev's mentorship circulated. The young student seemed both awed and determined, soaking up the lessons from Paddy Pimblett claimed he saw Colby Covington at a power slap event, and that Covington appeared to avert his gaze rather than engage in trash talk. Michael Bisping and Paul Felder, both former fighters turned analysts, chimed in to offer a different perspective. They pointed out that Covington is actually a polite and respectful individual when not in front of cameras, describing his brash persona as largely a promotional act. Bisping recalled seeing Covington behave with perfect etiquette in an airport lounge, contrasting his usual inflammatory style style on the microphone. Felder agreed, suggesting that the continued theatrics might be growing tiresome for Covington, who once reinvented himself to avoid being cut from the UFC. They compared Covington's transformation to Chael Sonnen's quiet off-camera demeanor versus his over-the-top personality in the spotlight. Meanwhile, Pimblett seemed convinced the avoidance was a genuine sign of disrespect. Fans debated whether the entire incident was hype building or an actual personal rift. Light heavyweight prospect Carlos Ulberg is slated to face a formidable opponent in Jan Blachowicz and aims for a statement-making finish. Having shown a knack for devastating knockouts, Ulberg believes another decisive victory could vault him into the upper echelon of the division. He expressed admiration for Blachowicz's experience and stamina, noting the former champion's reputation for battling hard over multiple rounds. Still, Ulberg insisted that an explosive early stoppage would be ideal for his climb to a potential title shot. Training alongside elite fighters, Ulberg emphasized the importance of maintaining his speed and timing while adding the strength needed to overcome more seasoned contenders. Fans have praised his showmanship as Ulberg consistently seeks to engage in striking exchanges that dazzle the crowd. A win over someone as respected as Blachowicz could propel him into direct conversation about a championship opportunity. With this matchup on the horizon, the MMA world is watching closely. Fresh off a unanimous decision victory over Marvin Vettori, Roman Dolidze turned his attention to calling out Israel Adesanya. Observers have praised Dolidze for his relentless grappling and ground skills, which Aljamain Sterling also highlighted. According to Sterling, Dolidze's ground game could be a nightmare for a striker like Adesanya, especially if Dolidze manages to secure a takedown or clinch against the fence. Sterling recounted personal training experiences, noting how Dolidze's technique feels stifling and could lead to quick submissions. Stories even surfaced about Dolidze grappling with John Jones, further elevating his reputation. However, some critics questioned Dolidze's ability to initiate takedowns against an agile striker with proven takedown defense. Others compared his recent fight with Vettori to a tactical stand-up exchange, lacking feints, suggesting more variety might be needed to solve Adesanya. Nevertheless, Dolidze's call-out created fresh intrigue in the middleweight ranks. Dricus du Plessis remarked that Alex Pereira lost much of his intimidating aura following a defeat to Magomed Ankalaev. The South African fighter teased that he owed Ankalaev for effectively softening Pereira's marketability. Meanwhile, Ankalaev openly called out Pereira for a potential future rematch, creating buzz around another high-stakes clash. In a separate development, Charles Oliveira voiced skepticism about Conor McGregor ever fighting again, pointing out how long Michael Chandler has been waiting for a bout that never seems to materialize. Oliveira advised fans to let go of the idea that McGregor will return, suggesting the Irish superstar is fully absorbed in a different lifestyle. At the same time, Oliveira welcomed a possible fight with Ilia Topuria, believing he could finish the rising contender with a knockout. As divisions grow ever more crowded with big names, Oliveira remains steadfast in his pursuit of challengers, whether or not McGregor resurfaces. From eerie mine explorations to explosive callouts, the MMA world is buzzing with fresh storylines guaranteed to keep everyone guessing. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below on which of these fights or feuds has you most hyped for what's coming next.